Greetings, everybody. We've gathered around the table again today for another episode, and we're going to kick it off with the pocket jumps as per usual. Let's go, Dennis, today.
I'm going carbon fiber grip. It's my tuxedo version.
Mm-hmm.
Carbon fiber pocket clip. It's all fancy man and stuff.
Carbon fiber on carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber on top of carbon fiber.
Yes, those.
Brass.
Yeah.
Right, I mentioned. And it's patinaing quite nicely. Patina-ing?
Patinaed? It's becoming patinaed?
Patinaed. That's probably a better way to say it.
I'm not getting in on that one.
No.
Too many, yeah.
Someone else.
Yeah. So today,
Save me.
I am carrying my Raffir Noble Chaparral from Spyderco. Those scales are just too pretty. I like them a lot.
It's very pretty.
They are.
Or if it was Joe saying it, Refer.
Well, I got my Cree Champagne today. Yeah. Well, I have to butcher that too. Yeah, no, especially since the last time we brought it out to do a video. It's been hard to take it out of my pocket again.
Yeah.
I can't blame you.
With a nice ebony wood inlays.
Yeah. Coco Bolo.
Acidic skin.
And I have, new to me, a 456.
Copycat.
I don't care. I don't even care. That knife is too awesome.
In Paul's defense, though, there's only, like, how many knives in their entire lineup, and then how many of them are actually good enough to own. Sorry, Z-Team. burn on that.
I have a lot of them.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
The ones that are worth owning.
I suppose you have quite a few.
Yeah.
So,
It's going away.
it is going away. The reason we're here today is because we've realized that a lot of us like full-size knives. The good 3.5, 4-inch blades shape. And then there's other people that have midget carving hands that might like the smaller mini versions of
This one's mine.
the same knife. The best part is...
This one's mine.
The best part about this, both the minis are mine, just for the record, when I say midget carving hands. But some people decide to take it one step further on the mini category, and we're going to dive in to see quite how mini means, and mini most, and mini me.
Right. We covered mini-me last episode.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah.
Poor guy, we were assholes.
A little bit.
Yeah. So kind of the first level that we were going to discuss, that's the next stage down from those mini version of the production ones, is all over on Joe's side there.
Well, and I mean, the first one was one that actually was new to Paul last week.
Yeah.
Jeez, you're an addict.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kaiser Feist, which a lot of people would put into the small category.
It is small. It is definitely not as small as some of these offerings we're going to have today. It's a 4-finger grip, though, so it might not actually fall into that small knife category for some people. for normal-sized hands.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, you can go one step further. And also Paul's, which made you carry hands. But yeah, the pillar, which again, good 4-finger, if not 3-finger grip on it. Even
I was
though
just going to say 3-finger.
It's definitely a 1-finger grip for me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But a blade length of
I want to say 2.
2 1/4.
2 1/4 to maybe 2.5.
We got the ZT mat. No one can see the ZT mat, but
Yeah, 2 1/4 to the edge of the choil, 2.5 to the
yeah.
bolster.
Yeah.
so.
Depends on where you live, what they'd call it.
Yeah.
And honestly, only probably a medium-sized offering from CRKT. CRKT does get significantly smaller with some of
Most
their
definitely.
stuff.
And quite a bit larger, too.
Yeah.
Significantly larger
Yeah.
with some of their stuff. But in that same category, some other offerings from other companies.
Even in a similar handle blade format.
Fuck Spyderco as well.
Gotta love those double choils.
Yeah, and that's actually, you can see the common theme going on here with a lot of the knives that were coming into that just almost big boy knife, but not quite.
Yeah, like 2 fingers and a thumb, and
But significant finger trails, 2 fingers, and
You heard me.
Nigel got it first when he giggled. Oh, great.
that's all you need for those knives, okay?
Let's be very specific about what we talk about from now on.
Bowling ball grip.
Yeah, I do find that these guys are definitely small knives. and definitely get into a realm where they get tiny for sure, but they're still very usable. You can still get a
Highly
very
functional.
solid full hand grip on them, even though it might not be all 4 fingers all the time. But it's definitely very usable. You get a strong purchase.
Especially like in an EDC kind of environment, would excel in something like that.
And quite often you're getting something that is not compromising your entire pocket. 4.56 you're rocking tonight. Beautiful knife, but you're carrying that pretty much by itself when you decide to carry that knife.
Yeah.
Like, so that's the other cool thing. Luna's saying hi. She knows we're recording. Get that echo going, Luna. Sing it.
She likes to sing into the corners. It's funny.
Yeah, definitely with the finger choil. Mini Tough is definitely getting into the smaller offerings that Cold Steel offers.
Yeah.
Wish we could have a micro recon, because I think that's probably about as small as they make. There is a couple exceptions, and hopefully we'll get to play with those a little later on. But
Yeah, it's almost in the same kind of category as like a little native, right? In that same kind of ballpark.
I would say this is
Yeah.
native size.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean-
Spectacle little native.
Yeah, blade length, they don't get too much smaller than this, but at least they still, like you say, they give you a little bit to play with as far as holding it.
Yeah,
We're going to ditch the Kaiser Feist off in here,
Yeah.
because we're now down into
it's a little big.
Yeah, it's for what we're going to be playing with so far. So all of these ones, you definitely see almost a full-sized handle, but you're starting to compromise on
Shrink
blade
on
length
blade.
to get a little better in the pocket and still trying to get the best grip as possible. You get even smaller, still with the 2-inch blade lengths, but now you've got handles that are cutting down as well.
You're really
Yeah.
starting to
Grip.
shrink and shrink.
So Spectacle Cricket, which is funny because a whole bunch of people call CRKT Cricket, so...
Yeah.
And then the next one up that we have that you can see the shrinking handle trend is the Kershaw Spoke.
And these really are what I would almost call like a subcompact. Like these
Yeah.
are really, you want them to be discreet now. You're not even so much worried about just compact in size. You want them to be very unnoticeable.
Unobtrusive.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the major reasons I like knives this size is they're compact, they're convenient.
And maybe not necessarily for these three, but with the Spoke and the Cricket, for me, you're getting into the category of what I call like the watch pocket knives.
Yeah.
And
And as guys with blue jeans, they're getting to that. She found a different corner. All right. So we're getting into watch pocket knife category for those. And something that you literally now freeing up all pockets to wear because you've got something small enough that can just be tucked away, right?
Something that you can wear in a light pair of dress pants and something like that too, and they disappear. You're not feeling it all day.
And almost at this size with or without a clip.
Yeah.
Because you could even abandon the clip at this
Strap
size
right
and
to
it
the bottom
still
of the pocket.
would not be the end of the world, especially the Cricket with the Zytel handle.
Yeah.
And when you close it up, like, as Canadians, and I'm going to drop a reference as Canadians, that's not that much bigger than a toonie.
No.
Throw it in your pocket. Like, and weight-wise...
It's less than a toonie.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
you think about how many people out there carry challenge coins and stuff like that too. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's better than
challenge-
challenge coin is the weight of like, or give or take, yeah.
Easily, yeah.
So,
I will say, though, you do compromise the grip somewhat on a knife this small. I find you do get more purchase by being able to hold that.
Yeah, so kind of summing up this category, they're still very usable knives, but towards the tail end they're getting a little bit tiny. Next step down from these ones will be some little bit slimmer offerings as well.
and I think once you step down from these, you're kind of almost talking about a secondary knife or an emergency knife. You're no longer talking about a everyday carry. With something like a Squeak or a Mini Tough or things like that, Dragonfly, Spectacle Dragonfly, you can put that in your pocket, and chances are you can get most of your cutting tasks done with that knife and be happy throughout the day. These sizes start to compromise utility a little bit.
Yeah.
if your only job is opening letters all day, you might get away with it.
They're
Maybe not with that.
very small, slim, gentlemanly, kind of almost grandpa-ish knives.
They're in the right size that, like, I could, if I'm carrying something like this, I can comfortably take it out in public.
Trim your apple, and then
Well, cut a thread. Like, I could do that on public transit, and nobody's going to be afraid of that.
when you hold something like this, it's smaller than my thumb. Like, it's so much easier to hold and to use.
Let's get my beat up one. We can get the nice pristine new ones in there.
And I think
cleaned all my other blades.
having these as a backup option to a more substantial folding knife or even a small fixed blade isn't out of the question.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And if you're not a knife person, it's better than nothing. And I encourage even something of this size because it's small, it's lightweight, it's not obtrusive. You're not throwing hand grenades in your pocket.
Yeah.
You know what would have fit in here? It would have been a Vic Classic.
Yep.
Yeah, it would. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
I'll
Dennis
be back.
is running off to grab one, but yeah, I was just about to say that this sort of category I find to be the first that's keychainable.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I've actually talked to a lot of people who look for knives in this size category because they want to attach their keys or a little ID card or something.
Yeah.
This is specifically the size I'm looking for when I'm looking for something to attach to a keychain.
I have half a dozen different small classic Swiss Army knives, and I do actually have one that's not a knockoff. Holy cow, this thing's gross. Be proud, ladies and gentlemen. That's getting there.
That's Schmutzy.
That is used.
That would almost be considered a next size down on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But-
getting in there.
But even that, like I said, one option, if not anything. I'm just going to leave this here for now because we'll
Everybody
talk
should
about
have at least that in their pocket.
Keychainable.
Mhm.
Easy to carry around.
Everybody should have one of those in their pocket. Or in a bag somewhere. Everyone should have, literally everybody.
it. At the least, if not more. I think everyone
Yes,
in
of
the
course.
should have.
Everybody should have at least that.
And it's not a plug for Swiss Army because we already did that episode.
I
But
don't even like Swiss Armies, but everybody should have it.
yeah, we fought about that. It's cool, yeah. Besides thoughts, feelings, you're good. We talked about it being a secondary knife, but
Yeah.
And
Perfect for on a keychain, things like that.
really, like, I don't carry much smaller than this. So for me, this is kind of where, like,
This is, probably the smallest.
Shabazz calls the roadie his post office knife because they won't take it from him at the post office when he's going to pick
That's
up a
fair.
package, right? Like it's small, it's friendly, it's not.
Discreet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why I was quickly pointing to, is it the honeybee?
No, this one's the grasshopper.
Grasshopper? Okay. Nigel. This guy, Truby did a really, really nice job doing some engraving on it. So.
And I'm going to flat out say that I don't call this engraving myself. It's
Scrimshaw.
Scrimshaw work more so than proper engraving, but it still turned out pretty.
Looks nice. Most definitely.
So secondary purpose for stuff this small. It's a project knife.
Yeah, it's something easy to customize for yourself.
It's not going to break the bank.
No. So, if you thought these guys were small enough, they're not. We have to go one step further. And some other little options.
People.
Don't ask too many questions.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Cute and cute. Yeah, no, these are cute. They're small.
So yeah, the Kershaw Pub is kind of skirting the line between this sort of level and the last ones that we were talking about. All the other three options that we have are definitely getting down into starting to be ridiculous in their smallness.
Yeah, almost losing their functionality.
And I honestly believe that this little guy belongs in that category.
Yeah, more in this category.
Yeah.
That disgusting blade.
Don't worry about it.
I'm worried. I'm concerned I'll get sepsis just from looking at that
Alright,
thing.
it's
Here,
just
I'll move it
it's
closer.
a lot of
Oh no!
Cover up the ZT. This episode was brought to you by Dennis's very, very gross knife.
So especially with stuff like this, where
They start to take shapes.
it's intended to be worn as a little neck piece. There's a little thing here,
Or catch.
a little catch. Yeah.
They did also offer, and maybe we can get a bing of it, the turtle shell back that had a clip on it. That you could take one side off and put the turtle shell clip that looked like a shell
That's kind of cool.
on the back side. That was a stainless steel thing. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Made a good money flip at that point, didn't it?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. My sister actually wears one on skirts and things like that because it looks like a little jewelry accent thing on the side of her skirt, and it's a little tiny neck that you can use for whatever, right? So
That's nice.
So opening boxes, letters, trimming clothing threads. Yeah. So that's kind of the category that we're in now. This is like sub-usefulness.
Yeah, You still can find a use for it, and it still can be useful, but it's starting to get to the point where it's getting a little awkward to use.
Yeah.
Cramped handles.
One
your
and two finger grips.
fingers.
You heard me.
You are compromising your grip,
Mhm.
but again, we're still fully in the realm of backup knives and accent pieces.
Oh yeah.
Now with that, the pub and the toe definitely have a little more.
They're more functional, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're tearing down boxes all day and you're just cutting cardboard and tape, that's not a bad size blade to be
Yeah.
using.
And I will note that here in Canada, recently on domestic flights, they've now approved a blade that's
6
6 centimeters
Yeah.
or smaller. So all of these things do fit in, including the pub, which Joseph actually took and I took on last time around to Winnipeg on the plane with us, and they didn't even bat an eye at it.
So domestic flights, those are very
Yeah, in Canada, you're now allowed, and all of these things. As now, it does say at the bottom of the disclaimer list that it's up to the officer on duty. So he doesn't like the way you look. He doesn't like the way everyone looks that morning. He doesn't like the way his coffee looks. You may not get on a flight with your plane. Flight with your plane.
I would assume
On
you
your
would get
flight with your knife.
Yeah, I would
Those are the
assume you would
words.
get on your flight with your plane.
Don't worry about
Or
it.
in your plane or something, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, don't get on the plane. Definitely get in the
Don't
plane.
get on the plane.
So best chance of success, go to the furthest possible measurement on your knife if you're curious. So for the pub, I would measure from the bottom of that holster to the tip,
Yeah.
rather than measuring along the spine.
They say from the start of the handle, not where the cutting edge
Yeah.
starts
Yeah.
for all the specifications of. But yes, so all of these things, and especially for us Canadians, that's a little bit of relief.
Mhm.
Bunch of the guys I talked to on the social media aspect were like, "You're flying with a knife," because even down in the States, like it's a big no-no still, right? So
We do a lot of things better than them.
sometimes.
I mean, they beat us in this, but
As we're looking at those American-made dominant,
there you go.
Swiss Army is cutting in there.
Yeah.
We'll dabble on one more that I was joking around when the Cinder first came out, that I had lovingly said that I had finally found Rick Hinderer's favorite design for me, because a lot of his stuff was just big, kind of square, everything looked the same type of idea, right? And it wasn't cutting it for me, and then he came out with this, and it made me chuckle. And
It's different.
It's like this
Yeah.
little lady heel inspired little.
Yeah, I can see
Do you
the.
remember those case knives that
Yep.
look like lady legs? Like that's what that reminds me.
Yeah,
of.
I can see the
I can see the
boobiness to it.
resemblance.
But compared to things like his 393 clip points and
Oh,
things
well,
like that,
yeah.
I'm not a big fan of his style of Bowie, and when he
This is
gets
his
out
accent.
there, it's definitely far away from some of the stuff that Hinder's known for.
This
Mhm.
is the kind of thing that I'd buy if I needed a bottle opener, and would just be happy that I had a blade in it as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
cutting foils or something like that on a
Oh,
on a
straight
water
up
bottle.
keychain. Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
the selling factor for me for the pub?
Yeah, me too.
I pop more bottles with this knife than I do
Cut things.
cut things. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed I do.
That's
Because
so sad.
it goes into that secondary knife category for me as well. So chances are in the secondary knife category, I've got a bigger knife that I'm doing real cutting tasks with, and then the opportunity to have something to pry with and something to use as a bottom opener comes in plenty for that, right?
100%. Yeah, I like having like the multiple functionality
And,
in this
Yeah.
size of knife.
and with it being closed, the loop on it comes in really handy for you to loop off of something and just
Yeah.
tie it off and have it available. Yeah.
Today I was actually carrying that on my belt loop. It's and that's
Yeah.
again, it's compact. It's nice to have. I couldn't do something like that with like a Savenza size knife. It wouldn't work.
Or a buck on your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, pouch. Some people make it work, right? But yeah,
I
It's
guess
awkward.
so.
that's not as far.
No,
No,
It gets worse, ladies and
we
gentlemen.
can keep going.
that rabbit hole gets deeper.
It does.
And having said that, Cinder at a 1-inch cutting,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
1 1/4, something like that. Yeah.
yeah. So
But-
for our next offering, it gets silly. They can fit underneath my fingers.
This is where the rabbit hole, meets like a stone well. You smack face first, and you find these tiny little things.
They're so cute, though.
And it should be said fully functional.
Is there a rainbow that goes into the bottom of the well? So when you come up, it's like this pot of gold, but like tiny knives.
I would be down for that.
I want to see where that metaphor went.
No, I was thinking like Mario Kart River Road. It helps you pick up speed as you're going down the hole.
Yeah.
Like, this is almost like a
That's-
challenge of can I, can't I?
Mhm.
Can I make a knife this small?
Not necessarily using cheap materials either. Carbon fiber.
S35.
Yeah.
So I mean, effort was put into making this a half decent knife, but then it's just so small.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are very cute, very tiny, but still usable, but just so hard to use.
Grab a paper knife that's there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We haven't done one of these in a while, and as far as a knife this small, I just want to see as far
Oh,
as
yeah, that's
functionality.
Yeah.
It's got a pretty decent edge out of the box, cold steel.
So I
That's
don't
not
know.
surprising with full steel.
I don't remember that knife has been used all that much.
How's the little
And in retrospect, the Spyderco bug.
Yeah.
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 Also, a kind of cutting ability.
Small, thin blades, right?
Yeah.
And it makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. So the blades, they're definitely functional. You're obviously limited by size. Very thin stock.
The good news to both of these, though, as well, is they don't have a thumb disc. So if you need to baton with them, it's already preemptively out of the way. You're good. You don't have
Yeah.
to worry about it.
When you're batoning toothpicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How else do you make your
I have
toothpick?
toothpicks over there. Oh, it's going to give you a good time.
Oh no. So obviously, lanyard holes. There's no pocket clip.
Keychain holes.
Yeah.
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 These are meant. We were actually.
They're jewelry size.
Let's these.
Let's be honest here.
Mhm. Yeah. As Joseph just mentioned, lent by Jenny Hot Rod.
Yeah.
Thing.
As a
the
bunch of
options.
the other offerings, the
Yeah.
spoke was hers this evening that we got to play with.
Mhm.
This week as well. I think
The
the Roadie,
Chive,
These
The
were.
Chivy.
the roadie.
This was.
the LFK. I also have an LFK, but hers is still brand new.
Yeah.
LFKs are going for a ridiculous amount of money, by the way. If you can pick one of these up at a reasonable rate, like I've seen them go for 60 Canadian on the market after they got
That's silly.
discontinued. Yeah.
So yeah. Thanks, Jenny Hot Rod, for
Yeah, thank
lending us the knives.
Definitely.
And I know that she's worn this as a necklace before.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've even heard of people getting a couple of the little Spyderco bugs and doing earrings.
Right? Yeah.
Oh my god. That's so good.
Kayla Cummings, the custom knife maker that we a couple of us follow,
Mhm.
actually has a YouTube video of her wearing them while she's doing one of her videos, right? So, yeah.
Hey, why not? If you can stand the weight. I mean, they're small, but that is stainless steel with the handles.
Yeah. And yeah, this sort of size, I consider these getting into the miniature knife realm, not the small knife realm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This is getting almost novelty.
So
Yeah.
with an overall of 3 inches on that and an overall of roughly the same on the Lucky,
It's the lucky or is it the charm?
or the
The
Charm.
Charm.
Yeah.
Like even in the
I know.
name,
Yeah.
it's giving you an idea of what it's meant to be like
Yeah.
worn as opposed to carried.
And it's a pretty knife.
Yeah.
And so then we're talking about smalls and we're talking about bigs. We've got 3 inch overall. And we were just talking about mini versions of knives at the beginning of the episode.
And yeah, just what a little knife can really mean.
Like, to me, this is the smallest I'd reasonably carry, generally speaking, for a dedicated EBC. Look how small these guys are.
Yeah.
Open, it's the blade length.
Literally, the blade length.
So silly.
So,
I don't-
yes, when it comes to absolutely ridiculous, when it comes to small, you can have mini versions. You can have mini versions. You can have mini versions.
Yeah.
Like it's, yeah.
Yeah, there's a very wide range of what mini,
And a lot-
small.
And a lot of them really unique, used as jewelry, like you were saying, for
Yeah.
the wearing as necklaces, things like that, and
Yeah.
saying pocket jewelry, even the hubs. Me and Joe both wear them on the belt.
Yeah.
on the hip.
I do too, right on my belt loop.
Dennis tried out for a while using this guy as a zipper pull for his hoodie, even.
Yeah.
It was too heavy as a zipper pull, and my zipper just kept on constantly going down. So, lesson learned, or tougher zipper, one or the other.
Yeah.
But I like the pub enough that I have all 3 variations. I have the black, blue, and the carbon fiber.
The pub
So,
is a slippery one knife.
yeah, it's a cool little accessory for sure.
I did not give that knife the time of day when it first came out at all. Like until I actually got one in hand, I had no interest in it.
And I think we should probably give a little bit of homage to who started it all in the
Yeah.
first place when it comes to
Small,
small
useful
micro, but
knives.
still, yeah, very useful.
OG small knives.
Yeah.
OG.
Or
It's cheesy. I like it.
so yeah, don't let size fool you. Even little ones can be definitely functional and useful, even if it's as nice as opening up a little package or.
Functionable.
I heard.
You smirked
I heard
when you said it.
I heard functional. It's like yes.
And I smirked at you smirking, and now I have to say something. But anyway.
Sorry. I shouldn't have smirked.
But yeah, definitely still can be useful. You can still find a purpose for some of the tiny, ridiculous little guys. Have fun with them.
And in the EDC world especially, we always need an excuse to carry more gear, and
Yeah.
having a small little secondary knife, something that we can carry. There's a lot of fun options out there that you can carry for small stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So,
Summer.
never. The Roadie's a cool one. I'll give it as much as I hate on N690. Yeah, and shout out to the Roadie, because these are cool little knives. It looks like a little snail.
Yeah. And as we had touched base earlier with my little one, it's easy enough to do quick customizations on these guys. It doesn't hurt the bank if something goes wrong and you mess it up. It's still something to use as a fun, easy project.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that's kind of all we've got to say about the tiny little guys. Find one that you enjoy and have fun with it if you please. This is Nigel the Smith signing off for this week.
I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am the Iron Joe.
Exile.ca.
All right, we will catch you again later.
We don't need bigger knives.